Okay, so your Xbox 360 has the open tray error. Great. Alright, first you gotta get this thing out, right? Take it apart. And I want to show you what to look for and how to diagnose the open tray error, right? Alright, first thing you want to check is look at this laser here. See how this one's all nice and shiny? And I want to show you a bad Lighton laser. I'll show you what a really crusty, bad looking one looks like. See how that one's all yellowish and just looks horrible. Here's the good one. Here's a bad one. It's just not that shiny anymore. You might be able to tell on the camera, you might not, but that one was just horrible. So what you can do with them is clean them up with a Q-tip and some alcohol. And if that don't work, you'll have to do the pot tweak potentiometer, and I'll do a video on that later. And if that don't work, check and see if your drive's actually spinning up. Put your ear up to it when you got a game in. Does it sound like it's spinning up? And if not, the bearing in here dries up and it could get really, really stiff. And usually when you push your game in, you can knock on the top of the Xbox to loosen this up to get it to actually spin again. And also to get this tray out. If you have open tray error or problems with getting your tray open, you can knock on it to loosen this up. And well, there's a magnet in here that touches that. If you knock on this, it'll bust this loose and this tray will go down and allow this to go forward. That's what your knocking does. But it could also make this spin again. So check for that, make sure this is spinning, and if not, you could always, on some models, I think you can do it with this one, but there's a little, well, maybe you can't do it with this one. Some of them have like a little C-clip that will allow you to pull this top assembly off, and you can actually lube up the shaft and clean it. I'm not sure if you can do it with this one. You could do it with one of them because I did it before. Usually they just kind of pull off in there, but yeah, you can lube them up most of the time if you can get the top piece off. And there's replacements on eBay for under $10. You can get the motors. And another thing, if you leave this case off and you take this piece off, it's just glued in. Take that off, put a CD on it, put that magnet back on your CD, plug it all back in, and if everything's working right, this laser assembly should move back and forth. It won't click like that, but it'll move back and forth, right, really fast. And if it's not, well, there's a motor in here. Let me get this apart. There's a motor down there that operates that shaft and moves this back and forth. And if that motor ain't working, well, it ain't going to read any games. Well, I think that's pretty much it for diagnosing an open tray error. Just make sure your laser's nice and clean, make sure your motor's spinning freely. This is moving back and forth, and all should be good. And if not, well, you probably have a circuit board problem. That's a whole different story.